Okay, today I'm going to show you a simple way of making the legendary beggar's chicken. The traditional way of doing the beggar chicken is very complicated. You have to wrap the chicken in lotus leaves, then you have to wrap it in mud, and then you have to cook it over charcoal for considerable length of time. Then finally you crack it up and eat. I'm going to show you a much easier way, a simplified way of doing it. First, instead of using an entire chicken like the traditional way and you stuff it with stuffing, I'm just using 5 pieces of drumstick, or you can use chicken wing or whichever you like. Then I season them, and for seasoning I use this Lee Kum Kee Chinese barbecue sauce. For seasoning, I put a little bit of sesame oil, and also use this I sprinkle them with this Chinese 5 spice, which is make it taste very good. And all this you would use whichever amount that you think to your liking, to your taste. And I'll sprinkle it with white pepper, and then finally I think I use 1 teaspoon of black sauce, soya sauce, and sprinkle with some salt. I don't normally like a lot of salt. And finally, this I put 2 teaspoons of the Chinese wine just to make it taste better. Okay, and so after I've done that, this is how. And finally, I sprinkle it with some chopped garlic and rub it all over, and then put it into the fridge overnight to season it overnight into the fridge. And then now is the next dish. It's instead of the mud, the traditional mud, which is kind of very difficult to do. I make a dough. Use the flour. This is the flour, and make a flour dough of it. And then instead of wrapping it in a traditional way, which is in make a dough like this. So you can see this is a dough. Okay, make a flour dough enough to wrap the chicken around. So instead of the traditional mud, you actually use mud and or clay and then wrap the chicken. I just make a flour dough like this. And also instead of lotus leaves, whereby it's kind of complicated because you have to wrap with many lotus leaves, then they have to use string to tie them up nicely. I just wrap the chicken in the chicken pieces in tin foil, like so. So I'm gonna take 1 piece of chicken, okay, and wrap it in a tin foil. And put a bit of sauce over it. Okay. So instead of lotus leaves, you can also use oven bags, but I like to use tin foil. So, actually I have to put it to this side. See here? Okay, so you wrap it in a tin foil like so. So halfway through, then you fold it so that, like that.
And people can use less foil, right?
Yeah, you can use less foil. It depends on the size of your drumstick, or if you use chicken wing, it will be even smaller. just the key is to wrap it so that you will not leak all the seasoning. Okay, you just like so. A little drumstick wrap up in tin foil. As I say, you can use a small chicken oven bag. The problem with oven bag, it normally comes with very big size for whole chicken, not for small pieces of chicken leg like this. So the next thing is to wrap it, instead of in the mud, you wrap it in this dough that I just made. So you wrap it up nicely, wrap it up, okay, like that. Wrap it up. Make sure that it's totally wrapped up. And I think you have to be more liberal with your flour dough, because the thicker it is, the less likely it will leak through, and like so. Okay, so you wrap it up. So and then with like that. Okay, so that's a beggar wrapped drumstick. Now, why it is called beggar chicken? It has a long legendary history to it. Some say it's because the beggar stole a chicken, and so there is no place to cook, and so they use mud to cook the chicken. And others say that
Mud to cook the chicken.
yeah, wrap the chicken with mud and cook the chicken in mud, and
throw it in the charcoal ashes or
yeah,
something.
Ashes and yeah, and because it takes so long to do it, and then it's only offered in very, as far as I know, but searching the internet, only a few restaurants in China, because it's just too much work to do. And then they have to serve you, have to crack it up after it's done. So, but this is an easy way of doing it. Okay, so after we have wrapped it all up, and the next step you just put it in a baking tray. I already have one there, getting ready to put in the oven. And you preheat your oven to 200 degrees centigrade or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and the length of time will depend on how many you're cooking, or whether it's entire chicken or just a few pieces. In this case, I will be cooking for an hour in the oven. Okay, so I will show you the next step when it's done in the oven. Okay, an hour later, and I've taken it out from the oven, and it's nicely cooked, and then you have to crack it with either hammer or wooden or rubber mallet. Okay, so I'm going to crack it, and in restaurant they will crack it for you, okay, or in front of you. And so if it's mud, it will be very harder, much harder to crack. Okay, you crack it open, and in the restaurant they normally ask the guests to just ceremonially crack it, then they will do the rest for you. I hope it's not too hard. And then you remove all this, remove all the wrapping of the dough. Okay, and remove the wrapping. in the case of a mud, it will take a considerable force to crack out the mud or clay. But in this case, it's a dough, so a flour dough, so it's much easier to crack open. And traditionally, it's served hot. So
Okay.
So you take the chicken out, and also take this out way. The dough or the mud wrap, and bring that chicken back onto the plate and open up and serve. Okay, open up the tin foil and serve, and be careful. And I have to be careful. It's very hot. That in tin foil, it's very hot. You can stop it. So there is your beggar chicken, and it has a fantastic smell. Oh, it smells good, and it's hot now. Fantastic. I think the reason is that it works like the honey in New Zealand or the luau pork in Hawaii, where they wrap it up, bury it in the ground, and cook it for a long time. Same principle. You wrap it up in the sourdough, not sourdough, and the flour, and cook it, and it has retained the taste and the smell. It's beautiful and tastes very, very nice. And so this is a beggar chicken, and I hope you enjoy watching the way I simplify this legendary beggar chicken dish. As I say, you can cook it with anything you like, chicken wing or chicken breast. You can season it with anything you like. I use the Chinese barbecue sauce, but you can season it anything you like.